Hi, this is Agni, Dr. Agni Shah. I'm a pediatric intensivist and a pediatrician. I'm with Papilio, and I'm very happy here. I'm going to talk about something that bugs almost every other parent, and that is the issue of my kid doesn't eat. Something that you see on a daily basis. And basically, if you want to look at it closely, then look, there is no other animal in the world where a small baby animal needs cajoling. There needs to be force fed. All animal, this doesn't happen with any other animal. It happens with human beings only. So that should start you thinking. I think one of the most important thing about this issue is parental anxiety. The parents are anxious about it, and the moment you take care of that bit, half of the problem is solved. So let's take again a closer look at your anxiety. Why are you anxious about your kids feeding? So if you want to look closely at this anxiety, you can think of two main reasons why you may be anxious. One is you may have a feeling that well, my kid is not eating and maybe there is something serious about it. Maybe there is some underlying serious illness, and this not eating may be a manifestation of that. That is one. And the second reason would be whether your kid is getting enough nutrition or not, because he's a growing kid and it's important that he gets all the nutrition that he needs for his growth and development. So that might be your second reason. Besides these two, there is no other reason really why you should be so anxious about it. And let's address these two issues separately. Okay, number one, whether your kid is not eating, whether that may be a manifestation of some serious underlying illness. Number one is time. If you have a serious underlying illness, then believe me, it will manifest itself. It will manifest itself sooner rather than later. So if this is something which has been going on for months together, then it is quite unlikely that there is some underlying serious illness there. Okay, that's one. Number two is, what is the general activity level of your kid? Is he active? Is he running around? And has there been any recent change in that? Is he getting more lethargic, more tired? That. If that is not happening, then a significant illness is quite unlikely. And then there will be some other symptoms along with the not eating. Something like a fever, recurrent diarrhea, or some other symptom. If there is no associated other symptoms, then also a serious underlying illness is quite unlikely. And the other thing is weight. If your kid is losing weight, then that is serious. That a growing kid may not gain weight, but he should not lose weight. If your kid is not losing weight, then that is also another way of thinking that possibly there is not something serious there. So when you are facing it, you ask all these questions and answer to yourself. And if you find that the answers to all of them are favorable, then you can reasonably think that there is no serious underlying illness there. Okay, so that the part one solved. Then the part two is whether my kid is getting enough nutrition or not, and that's of course very important, because a growing kid, it's a very important phase of their life. They must grow, they must develop, and it's very important that they get all the nutrition. Now, there's a bit of subjectivity in it. You make a portion of food, whatever food it may be, and you think that this is appropriate for your kid. you think. This is a subjective thinking, okay? It is not objective. So you think that my kid should take this much. Whether that is actually appropriate for your kid or not, you do not really know. It is your intuition, okay? So to address it, I think we need something which is a bit more objective than this. A subjective feeling is very vague to address. So we need to have an objective marker about whether my kid is getting enough nutrition or not. So basically we need something more objective than that. And what can that be? That is your kid's body weight, your child's body weight. Because in order to put on weight, there has to be 4 processes in your body which must be acting properly. One is you have to take enough food. Number 2, you must digest it properly. And number 3, you must assimilate it. Assimilation is a different process than digestion. You must assimilate it properly. If there is anything wrong in either of these 3 processes, then you will not put on weight. So I think it's very worthwhile investment to buy a weighing scale and measure your kid's body weight maybe once in every 2 months and look at it, how he is putting on weight. If your kid is putting on weight, then most likely he is having enough. How much they should grow? A kid from 1 year to 6 years, and that is the usual time when you have these problems, they should put on 2 kilo every year. So that means 1 kilo every 6 months, and that is the average. 50% kids will gain less than that. So if it is somewhere between 1.5 to 2 kilo a year, if he is putting on weight like that, then he is having enough. I think this should address your anxiety.